Number 10. The bizarre truth about déjà vu. You've been here before. You walk into a room, a place you've never seen, yet a flash of recognition hits you like a cheap jump scare. The light, the angle of the door, the unsettling feeling that this exact moment has already happened, word for word. But it hasn't. This isn't some cosmic rerun or a glitch in the Matrix. What you're experiencing is a perfectly normal, but totally disturbing, memory malfunction. Scientists believe déjà vu is your brain failing to synchronize the present moment with your short-term memory. It's like your temporal lobe, the part of your brain that processes memories, trips over its own shoelaces and sends the new information to your memory center twice, a millisecond apart. The first time, it registers the scene as new. The second time, it sees the exact same data again and goes, "Wait, I know this. This must be a memory from the past." It's a cruel trick your brain plays on you, an illusion of recall where no real memory exists. It's not some mystical foresight or a past life memory. It's just your brain getting a little confused and telling you a very convincing lie. Number 9. Your brain hates nothingness. Ever sit in a quiet room waiting for an appointment and start hearing phantom sounds? A faint hum, a distant ringtone, or a buzzing that no one else hears? It's not a ghost. It's just your brain being a drama queen. See, your brain absolutely despises a lack of sensory input. It's constantly searching for signals, and if it doesn't find any, it starts making things up just to stay busy. This phenomenon is called auditory deprivation, and it's why people in sensory deprivation tanks, or even just sitting in a silent room for too long, start hallucinating sounds. Your auditory cortex, the part of your brain that processes sound, gets bored and starts firing off random signals on its own. It's the neural equivalent of a bored kid humming to themselves in a grocery store. Your brain would rather listen to a fake, non-existent noise than endure the unsettling vacuum of pure silence. It's a subtle, creepy reminder that your brain is never truly at rest, always working overtime, and sometimes it's just making noise to fill the void. Number 8. The inescapable illusion of choice. You stand in the aisle, staring at 30 different brands of toothpaste. You weigh the pros and cons. Mint versus cinnamon, whitening versus sensitive, the one with the cool blue stripe versus the one with the weird-looking logo. You feel completely in control, like you're making a deeply considered, logical choice. But what if that feeling of control is just a comforting lie? Your brain is a master of creating post hoc justifications. You might pick a brand for a completely subconscious reason. Maybe you saw an ad for it a week ago and forgot, or the packaging has a color you find subconsciously appealing. Then, your brain, desperate to maintain the illusion that you are a rational decision maker, instantly invents a logical reason for the choice you've already made. Oh, I picked this one because it has fluoride, and fluoride is good, you think, ignoring the fact that every other brand has fluoride too. This isn't a conspiracy, it's just your brain's ego protection mechanism. It's not that you made a bad decision, it's that you didn't really make one at all. Number 7. Your brain fills in blanks you can't see. Look straight ahead, focus on a single word in the middle of this sentence. Without moving your eyes, can you see the words in your peripheral vision? Probably, but can you see the tiny, invisible dot in the middle of your vision where your optic nerve meets your retina? Probably not. That's your brain actively hiding a massive blind spot from you. Every human has this. It's where your optic nerve connects to the back of your eye, creating a spot with no photoreceptors to detect light. You should have a hole in your vision, a blank space a few degrees wide. But you don't. Why? Because your brain is a world-class illusionist. It takes the information from your other eye and from the surrounding visual data and literally makes something up to fill in the blank space. It's not just painting a black void over the spot. It's inventing a plausible continuation of the image around it. Your brain is so good at this trick, you will never, ever notice it unless you specifically go searching for it with a very specific kind of test. You're walking around with a permanent gap in your vision, and your brain is lying to you every second of the day, just to make reality seem seamless. Number 6. The weird feeling of knowing something is wrong. Have you ever been in a situation where something felt off, but you couldn't put your finger on what it was? You walk into a room, meet a person, or look at a picture, and a quiet alarm goes off in the back of your mind. This isn't intuition or some sixth sense. It's your brain's powerful, subconscious pattern matching at work. While your conscious mind is busy processing the obvious details, the person's smile, the color of the room, your subconscious is processing hundreds of tiny, subtle cues at once. It might be a micro expression that flashes on the person's face for a fraction of a second, the strange way a shadow falls, or a mismatch between what someone is saying and their body language. Your brain's threat detection system, the amygdala, picks up on these minuscule inconsistencies and sends a low-level alert to your conscious mind. The message isn't a clear sentence, like "this person is lying." It's a nonverbal, unsettling feeling. You don't know why you feel uneasy. You just know that you do. It's a primal warning system that's still wired for survival, and it's constantly processing data you'll never be consciously aware of. Number 5. The disturbing reason you can't multitask. We all do it. You're on a phone call while typing an email, or you're watching a show while scrolling through social media. You tell yourself you're a great multitasker, a master of efficiency. The truth? Multitasking is a total myth. Your brain is not a computer with multiple processors. It's a single powerful processor that can only handle one complex cognitive task at a time. What you're actually doing when you multitask is called task switching. Your brain is rapidly and inefficiently jumping back and forth between two tasks, a process that slows you down and increases the likelihood of errors. Each time you switch, there's a small mental cost as your brain has to reorient itself to the new activity, like a tiny engine sputtering every time you change gears. That phone call, you missed a key detail. That email, full of typos. You might feel like you're doing two things at once, but you're really just doing two things poorly. Your brain is lying to you to protect its fragile ego, telling you that you're a productivity guru when in reality, you're just creating more work for yourself later. Number 4. Your brain erases parts of your day. You get home from work and someone asks you what you did. You can describe the big stuff, that meeting you had, the lunch you ate, but the smaller details are just gone. What was the exact order of your morning routine? Did you pass a red or a blue car on your drive home? Your brain doesn't bother to record these mundane, everyday details. Instead, it creates a highlight reel and deletes the rest. This isn't because you're forgetful, it's by design. Your brain knows that it would be overwhelmed if it tried to remember every second of every day. It's constantly filtering and discarding information it deems irrelevant to save processing power for what's truly important. The result is that a huge chunk of your lived experience is simply not stored. Your brain is a ruthless editor, and the version of your life it's recording is a heavily abridged, simplified version of the truth. It's a memory you can't access because it was never even created in the first place. Number 3. The bizarre reason you feel pain that isn't there. People who have lost a limb often report a terrifying and deeply unsettling phenomenon: phantom limb pain. They can feel their missing hand cramping, or their amputated foot aching. This isn't just psychological. The brain has a detailed map of your body, a sensory blueprint called the homunculus. When a limb is removed, the part of the brain map for that limb doesn't just disappear. The neural pathways are still there, intact and active. Over time, the brain can get confused, and the surrounding areas on the map, like the one for your face or arm, can start to invade the now empty limb territory. This crossover of signals is what causes the phantom sensations. Your brain receives a signal from a nearby nerve, and misinterpreting it, tells you that your missing hand is itching. It's your brain being so rigid in its mapping that it would rather invent a sensation for a body part that doesn't exist than admit its own blueprint is now wrong. It's a physical reminder that your perception of your own body is just a very convincing trick of the mind. Number 2. Your brain creates your reality secondhand. You see a car, a tree, a cup of coffee. You think you're seeing reality as it happens, in real time. You're not. There's a slight but measurable delay between an event happening in the world and your brain perceiving it. A flash of light hits your eye, and that signal has to travel down the optic nerve, get processed by the thalamus, and finally be sent to your visual cortex to be seen. This all happens in milliseconds, but it's still a delay. So what your brain is actually doing is taking all the incoming data and presenting you with a slightly delayed, recreated version of reality. Your brain isn't a live stream camera. It's more like a movie editor, constantly cutting together a new scene based on what just happened. To keep things from feeling weird and choppy, your brain often fills in the tiny gaps with a guess based on what it expects to see. The reality you experience is a beautifully rendered, low-latency reconstruction of the past, not the present. You are always, in a very real sense, living in the past. Number 1, your mind can't see what's really there. You're looking at your own reflection. You see a complete, unified self. You see a singular person with a singular personality. This is the biggest lie your brain tells you. There is no single you inside your head. You are a collection of competing, sometimes conflicting, mental modules. There's a module for fear, one for impulse control, another for planning, one for empathy. They all live in different parts of your brain, and they don't always agree. Ever wonder why you can be a thoughtful, forward-thinking person one minute and an impulsive mess the next? It's because the planning part of your brain is a different system from the impulse part, and sometimes one wins the fight. Your consciousness, that feeling of a unified self, is just the final output. A story your brain weaves to make sense of all this internal chaos. It's the ultimate illusion. Your brain looks at all these disparate impulses, thoughts, and actions and stitches them together into a coherent narrative. It gives you a name, a history, and a personality. This you is not a commander giving orders. It's the final product of a chaotic committee meeting, and your brain is hiding the entire messy process from you.